Avengers, Gotham Knights, and Suicide Squad. 3 games that had poor reviews at launch. Are they the worst games ever? Yes. Yes, they are. I'm just joking, they're not that bad, but we'll go deeper into that later. I want to talk about why these games suffer and some features that I actually like in them that a lot of other review channels don't talk about. I think the best way to go about this is to kind of in general talk about all the games together collectively, and then I'll go deeper into the individual games themselves and talk about them specifically. And then at the end, I'll throw them up on a ranking from worst to best. First off, I'm not going to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy because I never played it. Honestly, I just didn't care that much to play a full game with them. With them as the main characters. If I watched all the movies and then got in the mood to play a Guardians of the Galaxy game, then, you know, obviously I'd play it. But since it came out, I have not had that itch, so I won't be talking about it. But if that game also aligns with the other games that I talk about in this video, then let me know in the comments. So why do these games suffer? The reason why a lot of these games suffer can range from a lot of different aspects. For instance, broken gameplay that feels clunky and outdated from the jump, boring enemies or stories, or even just shitty in-game interfaces. Which, yes, this includes the gear up system, which I think shouldn't have to be a flaw. There's plenty of games out there that have a perfectly good gear up system, and it makes the game more fun in some cases. You know what sucks about these systems? They pitch it as, oh, you can make the beloved character that you play as your own by giving them a badass outfit and gear to your liking. And then the different gear in question is just a different shader that looks god-awful and then just loot that's trash. Injustice 2 and Mortal Kombat suffer from this also.
Just give me good loot for God's sake. I want to look badass, not like I made a Comic-Con cosplay outfit with whatever I had in the back of my closet.
I can go on and on about the gear system, but let's go back on topic. Another problem that a lot of people have is the repetitive gameplay of these games, and for the most part I agree, but sometimes I can let it slide. Avengers missions are trash because after a while they're just the same mission over and over again with the same foes. Suicide Squad is also like this, but I think it somewhat gets a pass because you can move a lot better and be, for the most part, fast-paced in comparison. Now, this doesn't completely save it, obviously, but it's at least a little bit better. Avengers, after a while, just becomes somewhat of just like button mashing, and there's like really nothing new after a while. I'm trying to keep this quick so we can get to the nitty-gritty, so just bear with me here. Lastly, before we get to the actual games themselves, the movement in these games are pretty god-awful. Everything just feels so heavy and clunky, it's just gross. The Arkham series had such a good fluid-like movement where you don't lose momentum because of how the game operates, and then you go to Knights or Suicide Squad and it's just sluggish. Now that wraps that up, okay, let's get into the games. Avengers 2020. By the way, I am gonna go in chronological order. People were hyped about this game, and I'm people. There was hope with it. We thought it could be pretty good, and to some, it's not that bad. I also somewhat lie in here. Let's talk about what this game does right. I think the addition of characters is such a good idea. Now, Spider-Man? Why? Why do we add Spider-Man, okay? I think Spider-Man for the PS4 came out in 2018, and we decided, you know what? People need more Spider-Man. Listen, I love Spider-Man, all right? Don't get it fucked up. I love Spider-Man. But why would we add Spider-Man when he has his own perfectly good game? You guys have seen the videos. The Spider-Man gameplay is terrible, but people like Black Panther was awesome. I love playing as Black Panther, and I mean, duh, it's Black Panther. But like, we don't have like really any game other than like Lego to play as Black Panther in. So it's awesome because this is a new game and we get to play as a hero that we love, you know? The story isn't anything to remember it by. I mean, you got like MODOK. Who fucking cares about MODOK? It was enough to keep me playing, but not enough to make me want to come back by any means. I think the enemies you fight are just boring, honestly, and it gets repetitive after a while. If you like a mindless game where you just beat mofos up as the Avengers, the game is really not that bad. I mean, it's really not. The graphics are also not bad at all. I think the game honestly looks probably the best out of the ones that we talk about today. When you walk around, you feel like an Avenger. Heavy emphasis on the walk part of that. When you run or fly, it's... The running characters aren't that bad, like you don't feel that slow, but the flying characters should be so much faster. I know it's not a free roam game and they can't go super fast, but like, come on, man. I'm the god of thunder moving like a glob of butter. The dialogue's really good. There was many times in the story where the dialogue was like really good to the point where it kept me intrigued and actually at some point moved me to tears.
I believe that we are dangerous. You really think the world is better without us? Yes.
It sucks, I hate it. Kamala is annoying, but like not like that annoying. Like, you know, you can deal with it. It's not that bad. You know, there's certain portions in the story where I'm on board, and then there's other times where I can't help but to just chuckle because I'm thinking about how bad these fake characters are at acting. How is that possible? It's not the worst, but not very good. The gear system is all right. Some of the suits are actually pretty good, and last time I played, I somehow unlocked all the suits, so that's a plus. If I watch a Marvel movie and I have the itch to play a Marvel game, and my only options are a Lego game or the Avengers, I download both. Both have their flaws. Avengers isn't that bad. I don't think it's not that bad of a game. Lego better though. Next game. Next up, we got Gotham Knights. This game came out in 2022, but feels like it came out in 2013. I honestly don't have much to say about this game other than negative things. It's a great start. I haven't finished this game, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't. Every time I start to play this game, I just don't get intrigued at all. Why is that? The main thing for me is that it's too clunky. You know, I talked about it being clunky, like the Avengers was clunky. This game is too clunky for me. The movement is dog ass. In the Arkham games before this, you can glide freely and feel like Batman in the sky. In this game, you can... Next complaint. The interface in this game is so ugly. It's just so much text after just 15 minutes in the game, and it comes to the point where it's like, okay, can I play now? It just feels gross. Honestly, a big factor of the Arkham games that I think a lot of people like is the simplicity of it. Not that many controls or other BS that I have to learn. I can just hop back on whenever and kick some ass. The game is just cluttered. I feel like I'm playing not an Arkham game. And I know it doesn't have to feel like an Arkham game, but like, you know. Make it feel at least like half of Arkham, make it feel good. It doesn't make sense to me whenever you have a perfectly good mold of how a superhero game should feel, and then we still fail at it, you know? It just feels weird, especially whenever they're in the Bat family. The dialogue is just annoying and the characters are unlikable. I don't have that feeling that I had with Robin, Nightwing, Catwoman, or literally anybody else in the Arkham games. This game is just so basic. The fighting also does not feel good. It don't feel good. I don't have fun fighting enemies, and that should be the best part. The gear also sucks. Game bad. Lastly, we have the Suicide Squad to kill the Justice League. Okay, recently there has been some mixed feelings about this game, to say the least. And most of the criticism is deserved, I will say that. But I actually kind of like this game. I think the characters were annoying and I wanted them to shut up more than half of the time, but the story was actually, it kept me wrapped in for longer than I expected. The movement is actually really fun. Boomerang, Shark, Deadshot, they are, it feels nice playing as them. Harley Quinn fucking blows. She is slow, sluggy. There's just nothing better than grappling up to a building and then having to wait way too long for it to recharge so you can do it again. So you're just kind of standing there with your thumb up your ass. It's crazy to me because Harley should be the easiest not to fuck up because she's using Batman's gear. And especially if they're trying to push that it's like canon to Arkham, then copy the Arkham movement style. Like if you're playing as Harley, like the glide, she doesn't have a cape. Sure, well you can do literally anything else. Have her do like a Fortnite dropping animation. I don't care, just make it fun for me to traverse as her. Anyways, the main villain is Brainiac, which makes me think of another complaint. Can we fucking stop with Brainiac? There's way too many video games where he's the villain. No one cares, he's so lame. I'm tired of seeing him. DC, give us some new shit, please. With that being said, the enemies are boring. After the story mode, I have no motive going back and grind for as long as they wanted me to in order to get anything new in the game. And
the Joker.
At least buy me dinner first.
The Joker? The Joker. The suits are all right, I guess. Still boring and whatnot, but the gear system is actually pretty fun. It kind of felt like Destiny in regards to you actually use what you get for completing missions, like the loot that you get. And I would say that this is one of the reasons that I played the whole story. I think that it's one of the features that kept me entertained and kept me playing. It's always nice whenever you see the green arrow up whenever you get a new gun, because then you're like, okay, this gun is better than the gun that I use right now, so I'm gonna use this gun, and then the next mission you get a better gun. They all look like different enough. I think it's fun. One of my biggest complaints with this game is that whenever you are playing a game or watching a movie, you are on the same side as the protagonist. You want to see them succeed. You're in this adventure and this ride with them. With that being said, I don't care about the Suicide Squad. What? Who cares? When did we give DC the idea that we loved the Suicide Squad so much that we got 2 movies and a video game? Beats me. They're just boring to me. Captain Boomerang, Deadshot's like okay at best. Harley Quinn, sure. And then King Shark. Oh, brother. Also, Amanda Waller is so over the top in this game. She's a dickhead for no reason.
Your little pussy belongs to me.
It's to the point where I want her to die at the end of the story. It's just like, please just shut up. I understand she isn't a nice person, but fuck, man, tone it down a couple of notches, please. The dialogue in this game is bad because no one ever shuts up. Honestly, the jokes don't really land for me. Call me old-fashioned. I think I chuckled at maybe like 2 jokes, and the rest are just spoon-fed us. Like, look, Captain Boomerang made a joke about his wiener. You think that's funny, don't you? Laugh. And then you're just sitting there like, that's not how you guys felt? Okay, must have been just me. This game is just mid. Nothing more, nothing less. If you look at a game like Ultimate Alliance, right? That is the perfect team-up game. They made 3 of them, and all of them slap. I would love to see an Ultimate Alliance 4 just because it's simple, you know, it's fun. You pick 4 superheroes out of a pretty big list of options that you can switch at any time. You know how to play because there's like 7 buttons in total, and you have a blast. I think these games we talked about today go too deep into the making the game look good and dumb gear options and all that dumb stuff, and they forget that at the end of the day, they actually have to make a good game. All they care about is the DLC content and not the actual product off launch. These games really aren't that bad. They had a chance, other than Gotham Knights. I can't stand Gotham Knights, dude. For what I've played of it, like I might try it again, but for what I've played, I just couldn't. It feels too clunky, too ugly. But these games aren't that bad. I think they just need work. We don't need these copy and paste games. Give us an adventure to go on with our main character or characters that leaves us with a moral of the story. Hell, even just a fun time. I don't care if there's a moral of the story. Just make it fun, please. Superhero games should be quite easy to make, in all honesty. Just keep things simple and give us something fun. I mean, look at God of War. A good story with good replay value is way better than a piss-poor story with cute DLC outfits. Look, King Shark has a Hawaiian shirt, how cute. The rankings. 3, we have Gotham Knights. 2, we have Suicide Squad. 1, we have Avengers, because after watching a Marvel movie or something, I can still go back to this game and have a fun time, you know, flying around as them and beating people up. It's not that bad. Avengers and Suicide Squad are pretty neck and neck, but I think I would say Avengers is probably better. 1+, Ultimate Alliance 3. 1++, Ultimate Alliance 2. 1+++, Ultimate Alliance 1. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for joining me on the couch today and talking about these team-up games. I've been playing a lot of video games recently because I've been out of the gym. And yeah, I figured this would be a fun video to make. Leave a comment if you agree with me. Leave a comment on if you don't agree with me, and let me know what you think. If there's a certain part that you're like, I nailed that. If there's a certain point where you're like, what are you talking about? Let me know, we can discuss it. Be sure to subscribe. I might start my Patreon up soon. Once I start getting back in the gym, I think I'm gonna start my Patreon up. So if you guys wanna, you know, join the Patreon, that'd be badass. Till next time, guys. King Shark.